Live from the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse at Fitchburg High School, FATV presents coverage of Fitchburg High athletics. And this evening we've got the 2021 basketball opening games here as the Red Raiders of Fitchburg High School take on the Spartans of Oakmont Regional High School. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daniel Bolak. Happy to have you along with us. Making his FATV debut is Fitchburg High sophomore Frank Gallo.
My name is Frank Gallo. I'm very excited to be doing this tonight. I hope we have a wonderful night at the Doug Crutchfield Fieldhouse.
Indeed. It's the first of 10 games in this regular season, this very abbreviated regular season for both of these squads. And it's going to be definitely a different look, to say the least, in regards to how they're going to be playing these games. A couple of rule changes we'll be bringing you into as the game goes on, but nonetheless, it's going to be a very interesting experience.
Yes, it's going to be really weird this year. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. I don't think anyone who's watching on TV right now has seen anything like this. But we'll just kind of see how it goes. And we wish all of the players a wonderful and very safe game.
Indeed. So Fitchburg High School last season put up a record of 7 wins, 13 losses. They went 1-7 in Mid-Wash B. Went on quite the run down the stretch last year. Started 1-9, but were able to bounce back, finish 6-4 in the last half of the season to come with that 7-13 record. And this is a team that has struggled over the years to put up strong records. Haven't been in the postseason in a little over a decade. But Paul DiGeronimo in his 5th season. He's got a fairly young squad as well, with just a handful of returning players, 7 returning players, 6 freshmen. It's very interesting, but Mr. DiGeronimo did return all of his top scorers.
He has returned all of his top scorers. Yes, last year I saw they got Mia Cavins back. She was very good last year. She scored many points.
And now for the starters for your own Fitchburg High School Red Raiders.
I think at this point we're just going to lay out and let our public address announcer announce the rest of the starting lineups.
A junior wearing number 10, Ilka Negron. Next up, a junior wearing number 11, Olivia Smith. Now we have a sophomore wearing number 24, Tanila Council. A sophomore wearing number 25, Jen Allen. And last but certainly not least, our senior this evening wearing number 33, Mia Cavins. The Red Raiders are led tonight by head coach Paul DiGeronimo. It is at this time that for anyone in attendance in the gym, I'd ask you to please stand and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. The officials for tonight's game are Alex Stroud, Paul Gary, and Raymond Kaufman. Once again, on behalf of the FHS community, thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Play ball.
All right, first game for everybody here. First game for us up here at the top level here of the Crutchfield Fieldhouse, so things to
Absolutely.
get used to.
Yeah, definitely a lot of getting used to right now with the social distancing and everything. Me and the primary announcer, Dan, here, are both wearing masks right now. We are trying to practice as much social distancing as possible in order to remain safe. Again, it's just a very strange experience today.
Indeed it is. So as we mentioned, Fitchburg, they brought back all of their leading scorers. As we mentioned, Mia Cavins, 10.9 points per game, 53 three-pointers made of the team's 83 last year. Definitely dangerous from distance. And you'll see immediately one of the changes made this year. No tip-off, they had a coin toss. Oakmont gets the first possession in this contest. They'll be going from right to left in the road green uniforms as Riley Barrio passes out to the far side, held it there by Emma Cullen. Moving around to the near side, Jada Sibley, bounce pass inside, is picked off by the Red Raiders. First possession, a turnover for Oakmont. Now on the near side, Olivia Smith gets into the paint, distributes it around that left wing three ball, a bit too strong, but stays in bounds. Offensive rebound for the Red Raiders, top of the arc. Pulling it out a moment is Tenila Council. Bounce pass on the right side. Now to the top of the arc, and now from the left wing, a three ball is good! First points of the game go to the Red Raiders. 3-0, about a minute into this contest. That was Council who got the three there. One thing I'm seeing here, the Red Raiders in the home white uniforms with red shorts. They've got light gold numbers. Slight challenge to try to read from this distance.
I definitely agree with you. It's kind of difficult to get the exact play-by-play when they're on the other side of the field house.
Of our first foul of the contest. The inbounds all will be from the sidelines, as they'll be limiting the inbounds from underneath the basket and the end lines. The foul will go against Oakmont. Didn't get the signal on that one. Try to figure that out as we go. Try and hit the floater from the right baseline was Olivia Smith. Just couldn't get it to fall. Oakmont will try to come back in transition. On the left side of the paint, Sophie Plotkin leaves it out. Three ball, just a bit offline. Rebound taken in by the Red Raiders. Just under two gone here in the first quarter of play. In that right side corner, Smith. The pass off. Another skip pass to the left wing, and now driving into the paint, putting that up and in. 5-0, Red Raiders in front. Be another two for Tenila Council. She's got all 5 in this contest thus far. As Barrio to the top of the arc, around for Emma Cullen. Gave it off to Plotkin, got it back. Now Barrio, three ball, hits the back iron. Rebound pulled in by Council. Long pass down court, distributing it, and foul is going to be called against Oakmont. Foul's going to go against the Spartans. Think that one was on Jada Sibley. So Red Raiders with a fresh 30 to work with. Skip pass, left wing. Now out to the right side. It's Jen Allen. Throws it out to Council, back to the right side. Three ball, just a bit too strong. Oakmont will bring it up. As Barrio drops off. Three ball for Cullen. Off the backboard, off the rim, does not fall. Players getting tangled up. That's a foul that's going to go against Kenna Rodriguez. Rodriguez, yes. We all knew this was going to be a challenging name for us.
Yes,
Kenna Rodriguez.
Yes, we were just talking right before the game that we're going to have a little bit of an issue with some of the names. Please forgive us.
So already 3 fouls against Oakmont. 4:45 to go in this first quarter of play. Traveling called against the Red Raiders. Took an extra step, and now the inbound will come from the other side of the court here. Try to keep that social distancing. Perhaps they're trying to limit the inbounds from that sideline as well, considering that's where all the players, the benches are. You'll see the players all spread out there. As Sibley, Barrio, and Cullen. No substitutions yet in this contest. Everyone the same starting 5. Plotkin trying to get the scoop, couldn't get it to go. Got her own rebound, got fouled underneath. We'll have our first free throws of the night.
Taking the free throw is number 10 for Oakmont, Sophie Plotkin.
And Plotkin last season hit 6 free throws. Don't know how many misses she had, they just count the makes. First free throw, front iron, as the Spartans in search of their first points in this contest, or even their first point. Now another rule on the first free throw. You're not allowed to put anyone on the key for free throws in which there are no rebound opportunities. Only if a rebound is possible can you have players on either side of the paint. Here's the second one for Plotkin. That goes in and out. Will be tipped out of bounds, comes back to Plotkin, throws that up, tries to earn the 2 that way. Can't get it to fall. Oakmont remains snake-bitten. No points for them thus far as we are approaching the halfway point of this first quarter of play.
Also, to note, in the middle of each of the quarters, there will be a 75-second mask break, which we will be approaching fairly soon after the 4-minute mark.
And we'll watch to see how that all develops. Another thing we're seeing this year, too, is if you look at the scorers table, there are a few balls in reserve to be used. Normally in basketball, you use the same ball for the entirety of the game, but teams have to have additional basketballs at the ready and be ready to switch out basketballs and disinfect the ones that have been used.
This is, again, just part of those COVID regulations to keep the players safe.
There's a drive in by Olivia Smith. Can't get that to fall, but another offensive rebound for the Red Raiders. Definitely playing well in the early going of this game. That'll help matters even more. The triple made there to make it 8-0. I think that was Cavins who got her first points of the night on that. So 8-0 the score. To start, Oakmont still looking for points. Plotkin throws it up, can't get that to go, tries to get her own rebound, bounces the ball off the end line. And that's the first stoppage after 4 minutes. So I believe we're supposed to have our mask break here. Instead, we have lots of substitutions.
Seems that there are substitutions going on.
We're going to skip the mask break, I believe.
Okay, so no mask break right now.
All right. I was under the impression there would be mask breaks, but again, this is the first game we've called in this. It's the first time we've had a chance to see anything happening here. So that shot doesn't fall. Got their own rebound. Moving around to the top. And a foul there as Riley Barrio collides with Olivia Smith. The 4th foul against Oakmont. 2:54 to go, first quarter. The Red Raiders with the first 8 points of this contest. As Cavins looks to inbound. Barrio comes up with the steal. Pulling that away from Smith. Tries to go in transition. Foul's going to be called against the Red Raiders. That one goes against Cavins. And now Riley Barry will have her turn to try to get her Spartan side on the board, and does so with the first free throw. Barrio this season, well, last season, 23 free throws made. That was 3rd best on the team and the best of returning players. Also the leading scorer of all returning players from last season, 8.2 points per game. That was second on the team. Second free throw is good as well, so Oakmont's on the board. It's 8-2. That stretch pass. Now back for Tenila Council. Red Raiders continue to move the ball around. Out to the left wing, 3-ball just a bit short. Council comes up with the board. Top of the arc for Cavins, 3-ball, that won't go either. Another rebound pulled in, thrown up for grabs by Negron. And then a whistle after, whistle after Negron was able to pull that in, or getting all crossed up there. But ultimately, that crossing up led to a turnover, and it'll go back to the Spartans. On the near side, Peyton Collette into the left side corner for Ella Della Santa. Back out to the top of the arc for Barrio. And around to the right side, Collette there. Pass knocked out of bounds. And Barrio tried to save it, just could not gather it in. It'll be back to the Red Raiders. 8-2 the score, about 6 minutes gone. Council's going to be called for the charge there, as they felt that Haley Rutherford had set her feet well. Council will be dinged for that foul. That'll be her first from our count. Spartans still in search of a field goal, haven't gotten any yet. Gonna try with a long three, bit too long there. Barrio a step closer, probably would have sunk that. She'll try again. That time she sinks it. So Barrio's got all 5 points for the Spartan side. And back to a one-possession game, 8-5 the score. On the far side, the Red Raiders try to hit that, get past to the top of the arc. But contact made. I believe they called Barrio for that one. That'd be her second. And they'll have a couple of substitutions for both sides. So 80 seconds to go in the first quarter. Inbound taken, quick catch, turnaround shot from the right side. That doesn't fall for the Red Raiders. And on the other end, 3-ball, just a bit offline. Fitchburg will pull that one in. And Council will carry it up. Cavan's gonna try a 3 from there. Didn't quite get the shot she wanted there. Allen with a shot close range, couldn't pull it in. And fighting, trying to protect the ball there, Annika Hecker. Whistle goes against the Red Raiders. Now under a minute to go in the first quarter. Low scoring contest thus far. Both teams priding themselves on their defense. Loose ball as it could not be kept by Rodriguez. And we have a tie-up. Hadn't had any tie-ups yet, and since Oakmont started with the ball, that meant it's Fitchburg with the arrow. And we're going to have a timeout here with 31.2 to go in the first quarter. Fitchburg will have the timeout here. So any early observations, Frank?
No early observations. I've noticed a lot of more long shots have been taken than I would otherwise have seen, and the defense of both teams is playing very, very well. Normally, I would definitely expect more like 15 or 20 points in the beginning of the first quarter.
But right now, both teams a bit slow starting, and for the Red Raiders, Tenila Council, she's got 5. Mia Cavins has 3, and for Oakmont, Riley Barrio's got all 5 for the Spartans.
Yeah, and we definitely need to applaud Riley Barrio. She has been on point for the first quarter, scoring all of Oakmont's points.
As we mentioned, she's the leading scorer of all the returners. Oakmont graduated 7 players last year. And of course, that meant their top 4 scorers, including Jessica Lee, who was averaging 17.5 a game last season. Lose all those players makes things a little more challenging for Jeff O'Neill, who's acknowledged that numbers have been a bit challenging this season. I think he'd mentioned he only had 17 players between his varsity and JV teams. On the roster that we've got 16 players, 7 freshmen and 4 sophomores. It's a very young team for O'Neill, who's been coaching this Spartan side for a decade and a half. That 1.2 second difference between game and shot clock, so Red Raiders can hold on for the last shot, but they're not going to be able to hold on for the last shot, as that one was taken away by Rodriguez. Nearly picked there by Ecker from behind. That one is going to be picked by the Red Raiders. Council will try to take it all the way to the rack, and she does. 7 points for the sophomore, Tenila Council. Oakmont can't get the last shot off, and we're going to bring this first quarter to an end with the Red Raiders doubling up the Spartans by a modest score of 10-5. I think we'll take a quick break here for 1 quarter time here from the Crutchfield Fieldhouse, where it is Fitchburg 10 and Oakmont 5. This is Fitchburg High Red Raider Athletics on FATV. Back here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse here at Fitchburg High School. 1 quarter play complete between the Red Raiders of Fitchburg and the Spartans of Oakmont. 10-5 the score. Very defensive first quarter of play as these 2 teams try to shake off the rust. Daniel Bolak and Frank Gallo here with you from high above the court here at the Fieldhouse. Possession arrow favors the Spartans, so they'll get the inbound to start this second quarter of play. Riley Barrio has all 5 points for the Spartans. She'll take that up now for Sibley. Back for Barrio, top of the arc. Sibley on the near side, tries to pass inside. Jen Allen won't have any of that though. Now up on the near side, just trying to navigate the end line.
Yes, I just Olivia Smith, she bit wobbly there. Good defense on the part of the Spartans right there.
Forces the turnover now. Oakmont look to try to cut into this deficit. They've trailed the entire game. Barrio, top of the arc, back for Sibley, holding on the left wing.
Barrio might take a shot here. And she passes it.
See that 2-3 zone that the Red Raiders employing, really giving Oakmont fits right now. The 3 ball from the right side from Emma Cullen, off the rim and over and out.
Yeah, and if you just saw there, it seems that the Oakmont players are trying to play a passing game up in the upper court right there.
And we are going to have a timeout here. Oakmont will call their first timeout. And Jeff O'Neill not happy with what he's seen in the first 50 seconds of this second quarter, as he's already seen 2 possessions lead to just the 1 shot and not much else coming out of it. This Oakmont team, 7-13 last year. They went 3-5 in Mid-Wash C. Some of the teams they see in Mid-Wash C, Quabbin and Gardner, will be seeing in this pod number 6. Hudson and North Middlesex are in a different pod. Oakmont shan't be seeing them this season. In Mid-Wash B, where Fitchburg typically resides, they won't be seeing any of the teams that they normally play against. Marlboro, Neshoba, Groton, Dunstable, Westboro. Those teams are all elsewhere. After all, they're all east of Fitchburg as well, so they've probably got their own pod there.
Yes, of course.
And that's definitely a change up this year. The pod system that they've been utilizing, in which you only play teams in those pods to try to contain any outbreaks that might occur, so that you're not cascading around the whole region after like one outbreak spreads to another. Try to keep things a little more localized.
Number one most important thing about virus spread is obviously you want to try and contain it, and that's the idea behind the pods.
It's about a minute gone in this second quarter. 3 ball from the right side. bit too strong out of Olivia Smith's hands. Ball fumbled and then stolen away by Council. When that was a nice play there, tried to throw it just about between her legs, try to get it off of the Spartan there to knock it out of bounds, but ultimately Oakmont able to recover, keep it going. Cullen, right side of the baseline, off the glass and in. That's the first 2-point shot that Oakmont has made in this contest.
And Cullen had a very hard-fought defense right up there. She fought off maybe like 3 or 4 Fitchburg High Raiders.
Bounce pass on the baseline. Trying to feed Ilka Negron on the left side of the baseline, but ultimately knocked out of bounds by Oakmont. Inbound on the near side, about a minute and a half gone in this second quarter. Red Raiders trying to bring it back to a 2-possession lead. Floater is airballed, turns into a pass, but then that second shot on the left side of the baseline also airballed. And the reach-in's going to be called there on Jen Allen. Just got a little bit greedy there trying to take the ball away. That's the 4th foul against Fitchburg High. Fouls do carry over from the first quarter to the second. 7 for the bonus, 10 for the double. Not quite there yet, though. Riley Barrio carrying it up onto the near side. The pass for Sibley. They're well set up where they want to be. That 3 ball for Barrio, nothing but net. She's got 8, and Oakmont has leveled it.
Oakmont was also employing that previously mentioned passing strategy. I want to see more of that.
Now Smith with that pass, trying to find Negron. Couldn't get the handle on it. Sibley will bring it all the way down, puts it up, counted and one. Oakmont leads for the first time tonight. The sophomore guard, Jada Sibley, bringing that down the court, putting that up and in. And Oakmont on a 7-0 run to start this second quarter. Here comes the bonus. Does not fall for him, but still 12-10 lead in front for the first time tonight as Oakmont falls 2 of 5 from the charity stripe. Denial Council, top of the arc, gets it back. Now throws that runner up, and it's short as well. That's been a challenge for the Red Raiders, having trouble with the depth perception in a sense. We've seen quite a few of those air balls tonight. Pass inside. Annika Hecker will have none of that. She'll steal that one away. Smith trying to get that bounce pass there. Found the foot of Sophie Plotkin. Her feet moving enough to the point that they will call the kick ball there. Brings a shot clock. Bring a shot clock reset. That's a FHS rule. And the Red Raiders will have a fresh 30 to work with. Nearly 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of play. They trail by a score of 12-10. Up until that 3 was made. Cavins doubles her point total and restores the Red Raider lead, 13-12. Long shot from the right corner for Oakmont. Think that might have been a 2 if it had gone. It did not go. The Red Raiders trying to push the advantage. Jumper from the free throw line is no good. Rebound taken in by Cullen. Brought up in transition. Plotkin off the glass. Too much pressure.
And it gets rebounded by number 3, Kenna Rodriguez.
She's got her first points of the night. Oakmont back in front, 14-13. Shot with lots of pressure there from the left side. Can't get it to fall. Oakmont bringing it up quickly. Barrio, right wing corner, 3 ball, just a bit too strong. Got her own rebound with 3 Raiders around her. Got the second chance, didn't get that to go. Gets her own rebound again, but a travel before the pass. But Riley Barrio, the junior guard, 5 feet 5 inches tall, just tenacious going for the ball after the shot. Is it any wonder why she's the leading returning scorer for this Spartan side?
Yes, it is no wonder that she is the leading scorer. She currently has the most goals, the most baskets of any member of her team tonight, and we'll see where she has to go for the remainder of the night.
The stoppage with 4:06 to go in the second quarter, 14-13 in favor of Oakmont. As you mentioned, Barrio, she's got 8 points. Then 3 different players with 2 in Sibley, Roderiquens, and Cullen. For the Red Raiders, 7 for Tenila Council, 6 for Mia Cavins, and that's all the scoring they've got thus far. These two teams did play each other once last year. That was on January the 29th, and in that contest, the Red Raiders were able to come away with a fairly sizable victory, 48-26. That was a slow starting game as well. Actually, less points in that first quarter than we had in this one. We had 15 points in the first quarter. It was 8-6 after 1 in 2020. But the Red Raiders were able to dominate in the fourth quarter. 16-4, they outscored the Spartans to make that game a little more lopsided, if you will. That one, Olivia Smith led the Red Raiders with 13 points. Mia Cavins and Jennifer Allen each added 10. And one of the more impressive things was no player on Oakmont in that contest had more than 5. Jessica Lee and Sam Gastingay both graduated, had the 5 points for the Spartans in that one each. And after that, just 4s and 2s the rest of the way down for the most part. But of course, these are two very different teams. We've seen a lot of players graduate on both sides, and both these teams with relatively youthful rosters. It's a turnaround shot from the free throw line for Abby Stone doesn't go. A scramble for the ball and a blocking foul indicated there. Foul will go against Oakmont. I believe that goes against Haley Bosselet. So I don't see any other Spartan whose the fingers that went up by the referee matches what you'd expect there. 3-ball from the right wing corner, doesn't go there. Offensive rebound by Hecker. Bounce pass left side, Council 3-ball, yes! Tenila Council into double figures on that one. She's got 10 points, 16-14. The Red Raiders in front. Now from the left side, a 3-ball, that's going to go for Ella De La Santa. Just like that, Oakmont back in front, 17-16. Contact there in the corner and a foul called. Foul's going to go against Roderiquens.
It seems that there's also a substitution coming in. We have number 10, Ilka Negron.
Yep, Negron will come in, and with that foul, that was number 7 against Oakmont. And so that means free throws. It's a 1-and-1 for Oakmont. Let's see, 1-and-1 conceded by Oakmont is what I should be saying there. And Olivia Smith tries to tie it with that one. Can't get it to fall. They battle for the offensive rebound, and they rule a tie-up. And that ultimately favors the Red Raiders. They've got the arrow. Another substitution for the Spartans, as Danica Burke will come in for Cullen. I think that's the first time we've seen Burke tonight. Council on the near side. Cavins looking for space, gets a pass off. And climbs the ladder, does not fall for Olivia Smith. Still snake bit. Got a whistle here with 2:53 to go in the first half. I think they're having trouble with the possession arrow there. Not quite indicating the way they want it to. But for future reference, Oakmont has the arrow right now. And the Spartans trying to stretch their lead just at a precarious point. 3-ball well offline from Barrio. Wide to the right it goes. Council trying to carry it up. Liked what I've seen out of her tonight. Hecker, left side baseline. Shot doesn't go. Della Santa pulling it in. Carrying it up. The pass off for Sibley, now Barrio on the right side. Now Sibley again to Della Santa. Spartans lurking inside the paint, but they'll settle for the three. That's badly offline there. Ends up turning into a nifty pass, but Danica Burke can't get the finish. Bounce pass to the right side, Negron. Moving it along, Council into the paint. Everybody converging there. Council gets the shot off, it rattles home. She's got 12 points tonight.
Tenila is really on fire tonight.
An excellent first half out of the sophomore. And it's another lead for the Red Raiders, 18-17, as these two sides, the last 6 baskets have alternated between the two teams.
So yeah, that just only provides evidence that this is a very, very tight game. It could go any way at this point in time. We're almost at the half, and I really can't see who's going to win this game. From here, it's not quite clear.
It's been a close first half, but it'll be made a little less close with that 3 ball for Mia Kevins. That's her 3rd triple of the night.
Oh, and number 3, Kenna Roger-Quens makes another 2, tightening it up once again.
Brings it now to 21-19. Glad you saw that it was Roger-Quens. I was writing stuff down on my stat sheet. Good catch. Now Kevins out to Council. Gonna try the 3 there from the right side. Hadn't seen her make that shot from that spot tonight, but she'll do that as well. And she's got 13 points now. No, 15. Back to the largest lead we've seen. One of the larger leads we've seen. 5 points for the Red Raiders, 24-19. Pressure and contact underneath against the Red Raiders. And it'll be free throws for Kenna Roger-Quens.
Will they try and tighten up their deficit?
Good question. Look at Roger-Quens' stats from last year. She had 12 free throws made. That's 4th on the team from last year, and 2nd best of all the returning players. First free throw for her is offline. Free throws, a bit of a struggle for this Oakmont side. 2 for 6 tonight. Barrio had both the makes. The other players who have attempted free throws combined 0 for 4. It'll still be a 2-possession game after the result of the free throw. But she'll get that one. Get herself up to 5 points. She was averaging just 2.2 a game last season. And a senior. Years to improve. Sibley with the shot. Couldn't get that to fall. And getting tripped up there was Smith trying to bring that ball out. Foul's going to go against Barrio. I think that's her 3rd, if that's correct. Not be a great sign for Oakmont, but we are still in that 1-and-1 situation there. The foul coming on the other side of the court. Jeff O'Neill having a quick conversation with his side. Offensive rebounds available on the first shot of a 1-and-1. So Smith ends up getting the back iron on that. Red Raiders have struggled from the charity stripe as well. 0 for 2 overall. The free throw's not necessarily free. Whistle against Fitchburg, and now they're going to inbound from the far side, but they've established all the inbounding's happening from the near side. So they got to bring the ball all the way over there. Again, just another one of those COVID changes. Barrio, Sibley, back for Barrio. 3 seconds. Gonna have to get a shot off. They're not gonna get a very good shot off. They're not gonna get any shot off. Just a matter of not watching the clock there. And ultimately, Oakmont squanders their last possession. And we'll go into the half with the score. Fitchburg 24, Oakmont 20.
So it seems that the Raiders are taking a slight lead, although the game is not called in any way yet. Obviously, Tenila is on fire tonight. Miss Council is just absolutely going crazy. She has 18 points tonight.
I think I've got her with 15 right now. But it's also really interesting for the Red Raiders is that it has been a two-woman show. Tenila Council's got 15. Mia Cavins has 9. That adds up to 24. That's all the Red Raiders have right now.
That's absolutely wild, although I'm not particularly surprised. These players were both very, very high scoring last season. Tenila Council had how many?
6.4 points per game last season, and this year, and tonight with 15 points. And then Cavins, who averaged 10.9 a game, loved taking threes. In fact, 53 of her 62 shots made last season were from beyond the arc. That's her game right there.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's probably why she has so many points, and that's why the Red Raiders are winning tonight.
Indeed, and then you look at Oakmont, Riley Barrio had, I believe, let's see, she has 8 points in this contest. She had the first 5 that Oakmont scored. And then we continue looking down. Kenna Rodriguez has 5. Jada Sibley has 2. Ella Della Santa hit a triple. Emma Cullen has a 2. And I wasn't doing the math in my head. Now that I do it in my head, I can tell you that does in fact add up to 20. You look at the second quarter, Oakmont had the advantage in that second quarter, outscoring the Red Raiders by a margin of 15 to 14, but still very close game, as you've said. Any other thoughts that you've got on that first half?
I think it was very impressive. I've mentioned several times that the Oakmont players are trying to play a passing game. They have their 3 players, their 3 forwards, and specifically Riley Barrio and Sibley are both up at the arc and passing between each other, taking shots, and it's been an effective strategy for them.
But it does seem like they've had a lot of trouble really getting inside the paint there. Almost all the shots I think that the Spartans have taken from inside the arc have been second chance opportunities. Other than that, though, they've been having to settle for a lot of long shots, but I think Oakmont's been fairly comfortable trying to take those long shots.
Yes, and the Raiders have been playing a very fiery defense. They have not been letting Oakmont in the arc. They have not been letting them in the paint, and they've not been letting them take close shots.
Now here's another COVID change for this year, is that wasn't halftime quick right there? You've heard the buzzer right there. Halftime cut down to just 2.5 minutes.
Yes,
this season.
We're not doing a full halftime. There's no halftime shows. I mean, there weren't halftime shows last year, but there's no halftime. There's no music, so that's one of the COVID changes. You don't want to have people intermingling.
And of course, as we all know too, no spectators in Central Mass this season. Eastern Mass, a couple of places have been allowing spectators at limited capacities. We saw that in the fall. But in Central Mass, taking that a little more seriously, no spectators, but teams highly encouraged to broadcast as many games as possible. And through FATV, we're able to bring all Red Raider home games to you this winter.
Yep, we will be broadcasting all 10 home games for both the boys and the girls seasons. And we'll be here all season.
Indeed. Oakmont had the arrow to start the third quarter, so they will indeed start with the ball. Now going from left to right in those road dark green uniforms with white numbering. Barrio with a lot of space. Again, Oakmont trying to move the ball around. And as we were mentioning, they had trouble getting shots off from inside the arc there, tried to give themselves an opportunity, but the Red Raiders holding their ground and able to steal that one away. As the pass inside, knocked away for a moment, distributed around. Again, looking to see if we can get any Red Raiders on the board besides just the 2 at Tenila Council and in Mia Cavins. A tie-up indicated here, and the Red Raiders will have the arrow. And the players starting to move as if Oakmont was going to have that, but in the case of a jump ball, we go to the arrow. And Oakmont had just started with it, and when you get that opening inbound, you have to concede the arrow. And an unforced error for the Red Raiders. Oakmont will be happy with that. Ultimately, they did end up with the ball, and they've got the arrow to boot. That pass goes over the head of Sophie Plotkin and right into the waiting hands of Jen Allen. Council with the pass, but that's intercepted, well stolen by Emma Cullen. Cullen gonna try to take it all the way. Bad angle off the glass though. And another tie up, and Oakmont will have the ball on that. About a minute gone in the third quarter, 24-20, no scoring in this young frame.
Okay, it's back to Barrio.
That pass inside, scoop shot won't fall there for Plotkin. And it's taken in by Council. Plotkin and Council opposed each other in soccer as opposing goalkeepers this fall. Both these teams have several players from their respective soccer teams and other sports here at Fitchburg High School.
I mean, I personally am a soccer player in addition to being an announcer, so I was following the season. It seemed that the girls' team did very well last year and this year. But we're not here to watch soccer, we're here to watch some basketball. So I guess we need to focus on it.
We were able to bring you the home games for Red Raiders boys and girls soccer this season as well. Season's cut short due to increasing COVID numbers here in north central Massachusetts.
Those will be on the FAT archive, though?
Yep, all of those games on the archives, including all of these games as well. So if you missed the coverage live, you can catch up. As there's a
Abby
ball
Stone
there.
for three. Me and Abby go way back. We were there. I've known her since I was a little baby.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Been a sophomore, same class as you.
Yes, she is a sophomore, just like me. And who hit that? That's number 2, Jada Sibley.
So back-to-back threes there from numbers 2. That's Abby Stone and Jada Sibley, both sophomores hitting those triples.
How oddly ironic.
How about that? 27-23.
Now Council has it, and she passes it to Hecker. Back to Stone. So they're all younger players here.
So many young players on both of these squads. Hecker shot blocked, but it ends up in the hands of Jen Allen, who gets that off as the shot clock expires to get her first points of the night. So that brings it to 29-23. Three ball catches nothing but air from Barrio. It ends up turning into a fancy pass for Cullen, who gets the finish on that. (29-25) the score. A battle for the ball at the center of the court. Ultimately retained by the Red Raiders. Hecker, left side.
Back to Stone misses the shot. Cavins tries to make the rebound, but fails.
Ultimately, it was last touched by a Spartan, and so it'll be an inbound for the Red Raiders.
We have a substitution here. Coming in, we have number 11 for the Red Raiders, Olivia Smith.
Smith will come back into the contest. She was one of the starters on the court for the Red Raiders. Have to go to Stone, but on the left side. Cavins, triple bit offline. Rebound pulled in by Rodquens. 2 threes with the shot, 1 3 with the board. Pass inside for Sibley, had a bit of trouble with that. Second chance, that's not gonna go either for Rodquens. Pinballing around, Barrio's gonna get the loose ball. Third chance for the Spartans on this trip, trailing by 4 as we approach halfway in this third quarter. Ball on the ground again, and Oakmont not able to do anything with that third chance as the Red Raiders will take it across half court. Cavins to the top for Stone. See that pressure there from Barrio. Out to Hecker and back around to the right side, trying to find space on the baseline. But some contact there. That'll be our first foul of this second half. Looks like the foul goes against Plotkin on that one.
We have another substitution coming in. We have number 24, Tanila Council. one of their top scorers. I'm quite surprised they took her out.
Can't play all 32 minutes.
You really can't. Very tiring, very tiring.
And the masks don't help either.
Not one bit.
The Council will come up with a steal, nicely intercepted. Have to imagine some of those soccer skills as a keeper come into play there. Pass missing its intended recipient.
Jen Allen. Nothing but air.
Double team there, that was a highly contested shot. And now Sibley will carry it up. Gonna just take the three from there, had a good look. Couldn't get it to fall underneath. Nearly pulled in by Haley Rutherford, another one of those soccer players for Oakmont. As Cavins, Hecker, she has the space. She'll try the triple. Can't get it to go though. Just a freshman, so her first career varsity game. Looking at last year's stats will not help you there. As Plotkin underneath with the pressure, draws the contact, and she'll get two. That foul's going to go against Allen. So one of the interesting things here is to try to help us with the data link too. They've got the main clock over here on the near side, because I think trying to run it all the way around would just be so much of a pain. We already used up a really long wire at the Civic Center, so.
That's for the hockey games. Is FATV also showing those hockey games?
Indeed we are. We are doing every Red Raider hockey game this season.
Number 10, Sophie Plotkin, just hit the free throw shot.
Indeed, that's the first point of the night for Plotkin. Now the players come back to the key with the ball up for grabs. If Plotkin misses this one, she'll try to cut it to a 2-point game. Second free throw, back iron, got her own board, throws it up again, bit too strong, got her own board again, but threw the ball away. Nearly could have been even more spectacular than just the 2 points or the one, but has to settle for just the one. As Council, top of the arc, three ball with a bit of contact, and they will call the foul on that. That's going to be a 3-shot foul conceded by Oakmont. And Olivia Smith will go to the charity stripe. This will be a great time to break out of our free throw funk. Missed the only 2 free throw opportunities that she's had in this contest. And Smith led the team in free throws made last year with 48. One more than Nevaeh Graham, who's out with illness tonight. So some discussions about how many if she should be shooting free throws. If it was a non-shooting foul, then it would be an inbound. It wouldn't be free throws. And so it's going to be free throws, as we all expect. First free throw, again, with no one on the keys. Sinks that one. Ultimately, they decided her foot was on the line for that shot. Or at least that's what that near side official seemed to be saying, but no, or I'm just misinterpreting what he was saying. After all, I'm up here, I'm not quite next to him, so it's not like I can hear what he's saying clearly. Second free throw is good as well for Olivia.
Can't you keep the streak?
Try to earn all 3 the hard way. One more free throw for the junior. But in and out it goes. Council got her hands on it, ball on the floor. And as her backside was on the floor, it looks like the feet touched, so that's up and down it goes, and that's a travel. I think she was trying to get the timeout called there while picking up possession, but unfortunately traveled before she could get the signal in. And so ultimately a turnover, but still a great tenacious effort by the Red Raiders to try to get that offensive rebound. Makes the score 31-26 with 3 to go in the third quarter. Shot from the right side of the baseline, nothing there. There's a push called. Foul called against the Spartans. Council will take it up on the inbound, onto the near side. Back and forth it goes. Natasha Brito gets it back again. Brito looking for another pass. Give and go again, trying to find her open for
Brito
a three.
hits, that's her first shot of the game.
And she does, in fact, nail that.
That brings the Red Raiders up to 34 points with an 8-point lead over the Oakmont Spartans.
2:15 to go in the third quarter. And a travel called. Extra step taken there by Ella De La Santa. For Brito, that was just tenacity and trying to make that strategy work. They went back to her 3 or 4 times, trying to get that opening there. Get the window there open just enough so that she could get that shot off, and with the pressure, she did. The junior getting her first points of the night.
She's really a hard fighter,
And
but
just
she
traveled.
misses the shot and gets travel.
Oakmont will have it back. 2 minutes to go in the frame. The Red Raiders with their largest lead of the night at 8, 34-26.
And this is probably going to bring us back to the first quarter when they also had an 8-point lead over Oakmont. But will Oakmont come back? Well, I don't know.
Let's see. Flockin with the pass out to the right side for Rutherford, top of the arc. Barrio, she had 5 in a row to get Oakmont on the board when the Red Raiders had that 8-point lead, and a foul is going to be called. Looks like a grab against Olivia Smith. That's going to refresh the shot clock for the Spartans. Or it should. They didn't actually do that. Now they have. Barrio going to find an opening to take a 3. Couldn't get it to go. Council couldn't wrestle the board in. Now an offensive board, another fresh 30. Oakmont will not be using up all those 30 seconds, but double teamed underneath the basket. Pressure there. Flockin in the paint. Contested shot will go out of bounds. Inbound coming for the Spartans.
Substitution for Fitchburg High School coming in, number 11, Ilka Negron.
She'll re-enter. Council will take another break.
I'm sorry, that's Olivia Smith. It was a mistake.
As we mentioned, the numbers aren't as clear as we'd like it to be. And we mentioned before that when the last time the Red Raiders had an 8-point lead, it was Barrio who answered to cut into that lead. And now that time it is again Riley Barrio with the triple there to get her up to 11 points on the night. And we have a foul underneath. The foul goes against Sophie Plotkin. And 2 free throws awarded to the Red Raiders on the shooting foul. First one hops around, does not fall. So one more free throw coming here. That one doesn't go either. It was Negron, I believe, who missed both those free throws.
We just saw a Hecker block that. Anika Hecker is a freshman now, class of 2024. One of the many, many new players on both of these teams.
These two teams have 30 players combined on their roster, 13 of them freshmen. It's fairly unprecedented at this level.
Even given the fact that the average high school has about a quarter of their students be freshmen. That's about a half for scale. Meaning that these teams are extremely young, which is very, very interesting to me.
And when you look at it further, each team has just 5 upperclassmen. Those are juniors and seniors on both sides. It's really young teams on both ends.
Which really means that we're going to need to look a few years ahead for both of these teams. If they perform well this season, it's very likely that they're going to perform extremely well in the upcoming seasons as these freshmen grow up, learn more about the high school basketball world. I was a freshman last year, and a lot of these sophomores are just significantly better this year than they were last year. Hitting way more shots, way more passes, all of those things.
And of course, with that youth movement, gets you a lot more court time at the varsity level. getting to play against the top competition will only help you learn and grow even more.
I'd also imagine it's quite a thrilling experience for people who've pretty much like never even been in the school, because we're fully remote right now, and now they're representing their school at the highest level in these very, very prestigious high school basketball games.
Very good point to make. Oakmont trying to get the last shot off. A wild shot from Plotkin, well offline. Hecker pulls in the board, keeps it away from everyone, and brings us to three-quarter time here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. The score 36-29 in favor of the Red Raiders. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with the fourth quarter here on FATV. Back here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse here at Fitchburg High School, fourth quarter about to get underway. For the first time today, we're going to see Fitchburg with the first inbound, as this is the first time they have the arrow at the quarter break. Daniel Bolak and Frank Gallo here with you, bringing the first of what we hope to be 10 basketball games for the boys and girls of Fitchburg High School. First possession goes nowhere for the Red Raiders. Three ball from Barrio, a bit offline. Offensive rebound for the Spartans. And they get that bank shot that long too. That cuts the deficit to 5. I think that was Cullen who got that last shot. Didn't get a good look at it myself. And I didn't get any look at it at all that time.
I got a good look at it. That was number 2, Jada Sibley, from the top of the key, right in.
And so Sibley will bring herself up to 7 points, and now back-to-back baskets for the Spartans, and they force another turnover. And just like that, they could tie it up with a triple. But they're not going to be able to do it if Plotkin is moving her pivot foot as she gets the hands to the ball. That's a travel. So Council up on the far side, bounce pass. Negron, highly contested shot. 3 Spartans converge on the ball. They'll let Cullen have the board. As it goes to the far side, Sibley. From the elbow,
Sibley
jumper's
again.
good.
That's her second shot of the quarter, and we're only a minute and a half in.
And 6 straight points for Oakmont to quickly cut into that lead for Fitchburg. What was a 7-point lead is now just 1.
You're gonna try to get it back here.
It's it over the back against Sibley. That was the last foul to give for Oakmont. All non-shooting fouls the rest of the way are going to be going to lead 2 free throws. (12-9) was the margin in the third quarter in favor of the Red Raiders. They'd stretched that lead out just a little bit, but they lost a lot of it there. Council has been kept quiet in this second half. She's still on the 15 she was at halftime. She tries to pull that one away and able to get her hands securely enough on the ball for a tie-up. The arrow favored the Red Raiders. Council, top of the arc for Cavins. Inside Council, just teleporting under there. I saw her at the right wing, look down for a moment. Next time I saw her, she was right underneath the basket for her first points of the second half.
Tanila is also a track star, in addition to being a soccer player and a basketball player, really an all-around athlete, and that's maybe a little bit of that teleportation that you just saw. And number 10, Sophie Plotkin hits it.
That's Plotkin's first field goal of the night. And now cuts the deficit to 1 for Oakmont, 38-37. Loose ball cannot be corralled by the Spartans.
This game is just absolutely riveting right now. It's 38-37 with just a 1-point lead for the Raiders. It could go any way right now.
It's evenly matched between these two sides. Runner with the scoop, does not go, but a greatly saved rebound there. It was Smith with the original shot.
Jen Allen hits it from 2.
She'll double her tally to 4 on the night, bring the Red Raiders to 40. Under 5 to go in regulation time. 3 to tie for Oakmont. That's got to be in the back of their heads. Try to get that pass inside. Immediately deflected up. They did a shot clock reset there. Not sure if they should have. But ultimately, that will come to naught. A travel again against Blocken. She's had a lot of trouble getting that settled well enough.
Okay, we have a timeout right now. Do you know who called it?
They might have just weaving in the mask break there.
Okay, so we have the mask break now.
I think is what they've tried to do there. As normally when you see a timeout signaled, they'll point to the side that called it, but in that case they pointed to the table here on the near side, so I think they've been trying to weave in the mask breaks in the natural flow of play. It's, like I said, we're just getting used to this ourselves.
Yeah.
And now, as we speak, the boys basketball team have been playing up at Oakmont.
Do you know, do we have any news about who's winning there?
I don't think we have any updates on that one, but I know that Ashburnham Westminster Community Television has been broadcasting that game as well. They're doing for Oakmont what we are doing for Fitchburg High.
Yes.
And of course, on Thursday, the two teams will swap places, and so the girls will be playing up at Oakmont, while the boys will be opening their home slate here at the Crutchfield Fieldhouse. That'll be on Thursday, and that'll be, I believe, a 5:30 start as well.
So I get the impression there will be 2 games against the same team for per week. So both Oakmont games will be this week, and I believe it's both Gardner games or North Middlesex games.
Well, we have the schedules right here, and that is indeed how they're doing it. Home and home series across the Monday and the Thursday. Next week it's going to be Quabbin coming to the Fieldhouse. Let's see, it'll be Quabbin that the Red Raiders will be taking on. And then Leominster, Gardner, and Narragansett are the other teams in Pod 6, and those are the teams that we'll be seeing as the season goes on. Again, assuming as long as the teams can stay healthy and that we don't have any disruptions. Always remember, these schedules are subject to change without a moment's notice. We already saw in ice hockey that in the first week of action, the Red Raiders were to play Oakmont on Saturday, but ultimately we had that game, but they played Littleton instead because Oakmont, they couldn't play that day because
there was a positive case on the Oakmont team. Am I correct?
Something of that nature. There was something COVID related that called that game off at that time. Here's the first free throw here on this 1-and-1, and that's good. And Littleton had a similar problem with Gardner. Gardner had to call off because of COVID issues, and so Fitchburg and Littleton each had the empty date, and so they decided to move up their previously scheduled game and play against each other there.
Which I guess is kind of an oddly ingenious idea.
1 of 2 Cavins goes at the charity stripe, and another travel against Oakmont. They are having a lot of trouble setting their feet properly here. So with Kevin's 1 of 2 at the charity stripe, makes it a 4-point game, a 2-possession game again, 41-37. As it's Allen and, well, turnabout is fair play. She'll be called for the travel there. As we just break halfway here in this 4th quarter of play. Barrio with the inbound for Sibley. On the near side, Barrio looking for a bit of room. Now back for Sibley, moving into the paint, throws a wild shot up. And a tie-up underneath the basket. Should be Oakmont ball. It'll be a fresh 30 for the Spartans. 3:41 to go. Red Raiders 41, Spartans 37. Also, the Red Raiders have several fouls to give. They're only on 2 in this half. But the Spartans already at 7. As Sibley wants some space, goes left elbow, shot offline. And the Red Raiders will watch it bounce harmlessly out of bounds. We'll see how Fitchburg does trying to protect this lead as Sibley will take a break and Rutherford will come back in for the Spartans. Delilah Council carrying it up, taking her time. Council trying to take it all the way. Couldn't get the kind bounce off the glass and off the rim. Stretch pass maybe too strong for Cullen. It's rejected by the backboard, but looks like contact against the Red Raiders trying to double back. As the foul goes against Olivia Smith. So Cullen at the line, 6 points on the night. Missed her only free throw attempt. High arcing try there, but a bit too strong. Going to need this one to try to make it a one-possession game. I don't know how much we mentioned how in the cases of social distancing, only 2 players on each side of the key for these free throws. Normally you'd see 4 and 2 at the most, as the second free throw good for Cullen, gets her up to 7. And back to a one-possession game, 41-38, under 3 to go. As Hecker in the paint, not enough strength on that one, was able to pick it up, finds Cavins, gets the
hits
three.
it.
Mia Cavins with her 4th triple of the night.
Again, she's back on those triples all the time. That's kind of her game.
Making it work well for her, 4 triples tonight. She's got 13 points. That's above the average that she had last year of 10.9. And it's a 6-point lead. The lead just a little safer for the Red Raiders. Council, wild shot. Tried to draw contact as she tried to come in with that. And she was able to do that successfully enough to earn 2 free throws.
Delilah is far above her average game rating from last year, which was a measly 6.4. Now she has somewhere around 18 points.
I have her with 17
You
on
have
the
her
night.
with 17 points, which is 3 times as much as that. So she's really improved from last year.
And again, just a sophomore as well. 27 free throws made last year, 4th on the team. First free throw is no good. Try one more to make it a 3-possession lead. Try to get it back up to 7. She will do just that. 12.5 for Delilah tonight. And Oakmont immediately loses the handle on the basketball. As Hecker came up with it and then is immediately fouled. And because of the double bonus situation for Oakmont, their lack of discipline on the foul department means they've got to bring the ball all the way down. So Annika Hecker could try to get her first varsity points. So that first free throw attempt does not rattle home, but an offensive rebound for the Red Raiders immediately turned over. Rutherford, the recipient, and able to bring it down for 2. First points of the night for the sophomore guard, Haley Rutherford. 45-40 the scores. We reach 2 minutes to go. Kevin's in the paint. It's not where we normally see her. Got the shot, couldn't get it to fall. Ball out against Fitchburg. 1:56 left. And Paul DiGeronimo will call time with 116 ticks of the clock left in this contest. It's Fitchburg 45 and Oakmont 40. Trying to go over the leading scores here from our count. Might have lost count at some point, but in any case.
It seems like both Cavins and Council have really been dominating the game for the Red Raiders, although the Oakmont game is a lot more even in terms of scoring.
For my count, I have Council with 18 points. I have Cavins with 13 points, and then Olivia Smith with 4. Abby Stone, Natasha Brito, each have hit triples in this contest as well, and Jen Allen's got 4 as well. And that adds up to 45, so I have not lost count there, and that's good. Riley Barrio remains the leading scorer for this Oakmont side with 11. Jada Sibley with 9, 7 of which coming in the second half. Kenna Roderick-Wentz has 5, Ella De La Santa has 3, Haley Rutherford 2, Sophie Plotkin 3, and Emma Cullen with 7, the senior forward. One of 3 seniors on this Oakmont side for Fitchburg. Another testament to their youth is that Mia Cavins is their lone senior.
Is their only senior this year?
The only senior on this roster for the Red Raiders, the only member of the class of 2021, and then just 4 juniors, Inavea Graham, Ilya Negron, Olivia Smith, and there's one more as long as I'm not skipping over her name, Natasha Brito.
Yeah,
They're all right in a row, 5, 10, 11, 12.
What's even stranger is there were only 2 freshmen on the team last year, on the varsity team. I think it was just Jen Allen and Tenila Council. And on the boys team, I think there was no freshmen on the boys team.
Haven't had a chance to look at the boys roster for this year, but nonetheless, and Abby Stone coming in this year as well. So, but now Oakmont under pressure here. That's going to help matters a little bit. Barrio gets the shot off and the contact. Now cut the deficit back to 3 with a chance to make it 2. Actually, Barrio's first 2 of the night from my count. Up to 13 points now. And a free throw to make it a 2-point game.
And Barrio was 3rd on our team last year, 4 free throws, and of course she makes this one. How many free throws is that for the game tonight?
Well, she didn't make that one.
She didn't make that one, she missed it?
She missed it, however, Fitchburg had trouble corralling the basketball, and Oakmont gets a big gift here. Chance for 5 points on this trip down court. They could tie it. And you know Fitchburg's going to have to play strong to make sure that Oakmont does not get a good look from beyond the arc. They're not going to get any look from beyond the arc.
Tenila hits the layup, 4-2, cementing the Red Raiders lead of 6 points.
Except that was well after the whistle, so no continuation given there.
Okay.
But there was a foul before that, and that was against, and Cavins was the one fouled. And so it's 2 shots because that was foul number 10. They could still very much get the 2 points
Yes,
there.
you could definitely get the 2 points. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yep. And as a sophomore, you'll have plenty more opportunities to improve your trade.
Yes, there's many, many, many more tricks of the trade. I have a long time ahead of this, hopefully.
Both free throws made
Crap,
by
I just
Cavins.
lost my pencil.
Hopefully you had a backup. 47-42 with 1:15 to go. Right side baseline, that one hangs on the rim and gently falls for Emma Cullen. She's got 9 on the night. Back to a 1-possession game. Time keeps ticking here, now down to 60 seconds left. As we get into crunch time, Allen across, 3 ball, doesn't go. The Hacker with the rebound. It's a point where you try to slow it down and try to bleed some clock out here. 20 on the shot clock, 42 on the game clock. Only take the shot if you've got a good chance underneath. Allen couldn't get the initial one. Hecker with the follow-on, draws contact, and 2 free throws earned for the freshman. And as an announcer, so appreciative that she comes in with that dyed hair. You cannot possibly miss her.
You absolutely cannot. I mean, that's kind of the idea behind sports uniforms being all bright colors, and Hecker is absolutely embodying that. She is a freshman this year, and she's played a good amount this game, a really good amount this game.
She's been playing well defensively. She's come up with quite a few steals, really good at pulling in the rebounds, making her presence known and then some. As we have a timeout by Oakmont with 37.6 seconds to go. 48-44, the Red Raiders lead. And from my count, that's Hecker's first varsity point. Coming from the charity stripe and well earned. So this Red Raider team, 7-13 as we mentioned, played very well down the stretch. This Oakmont team just a couple of years removed from a perfect regular season. They went 20-0, but obviously a lot of changeover with seniors graduating since then. Ended up falling back to just 7 wins last year. But this Oakmont team, they've stuck with it. I mean, we mentioned the beating they had last year with Fitchburg, and that was a game well dominated by the Red Raiders, just a couple points away from doubling them up, 4 short. Whereas in this contest, the Spartans have been in it till the very end.
And it's still not over yet. They still have 40 seconds on the clock. They could still score points. They could still win this game. I wouldn't bet on it at this point in time, but I would not rule the possibility out.
So the Red Raiders trying to get the strong finish here. Annika Hecker back to the charity stripe. One more free throw to be paid. Try to make it a 5-point game. And nothing but net on that one. 49-44. Now, Spartans have to go quick. On the left side, now top for Sibley. Right side, Barrio. Trying to move the baseline. Contact there. Red Raiders had 2 fouls to give, though. And so it'll be nothing but an inbound. As the shot clock will be off. No longer necessary for the last 26 seconds of this contest. The bounce pass inside, Barrio double teamed, and it's Hecker down there, as we mentioned, coming up with that ball. Haven't been tracking, the rebounds, the steals, the assists, but as we mentioned, I think Hecker has come up with quite a few of those boards and swipes in this game.
She's definitely been a very important player to the team this game. I 100% agree with you. Several assists, several rebounds, and more importantly, her defensive playing has been spectacular, which is something that's very hard to put actual statistics to, but either way.
It's the intangibles.
Yes, it's the intangibles that make the game count.
Council will get to 20 with that one. 51-44. Oakmont be able to find any more. Sibley was given the space. The Red Raiders would have been happy to take the ball, but ultimately couldn't get it to fall. They'll run this one down.
And that's the game. The Red Raiders have won a very tight, very competitive game. And that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. My name is Frank Gallo.
Well, don't sign us off yet.
Oh, it's not time yet?
Oh, no. It's like, you don't just run us off the air just like that, though. We got to talk post-game here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's still plenty more to speak about here, as 51-44 is the final in this one. Now, things are a little strange. Times are a bit strange this year. And so normally the plans are, when you do these games, you have the junior varsity game at 4, then you have varsity at 6. That's how they normally do things. Shot clock's going to go off in a moment. Watch.
That was remarkable predictive abilities. Other than the fact that the shot clock, you could have just counted it.
How did I see it coming? But anyway, so normally you have the JV game at 4, then you'd have varsity at 6. But what they're doing here is they've got the varsity game wrapped up there. 51-44 the final. The two teams ultimately scoring the same number of points in the fourth quarter, 15-15. But the Red Raiders coming away with the big win, and so what they're going to do is they're going to be playing a 5th and a 6th quarter, if you will. They're going to be playing 2 more quarters with the players deep in the bench who weren't able to get into this game, getting the focus of time on that one. But before that, and so we're going to at least bring you visual coverage, but what we're going to do is me and Frank off air are going to be practicing our announcing skills, so Frank can start learning the trades of play-by-play, especially since we don't really have the complete rosters there, so we're just going to try to do the best we can. But anyway, we're going to go over one final stat recap here. Tenila Council leading it with 20 points for the Red Raiders, 15 for Mia Cavins. They were by far and away the leaders for the Red Raiders tonight. 4 for Olivia Smith, 3 for Natasha Brito, 3 for Abby Stone, 2 for Annika Hecker, and 4 for Jen Allen. Hopefully that counts up to 51. Riley Barrio with 13 points on that one. Jada Sibley with 9. Emma Cullen with 9 as well. A couple other players getting on there. Kenna Rodriguez with 5. Ella De La Santa 3. Sophie Plotkin 3. Haley Rutherford with 2. Those were from my count, all the scores for that one. But as we said, really impressed with Council's play there with 20 points, really taking over the game in the first half with those 15 points. Cavins hitting those 4 triples. The Red Raiders ended up with 9 on the night. That's a big hike up from what they did last year, where they had 4.2 a game. So 9's quite something.
So it was a very, very, very impressive game. All the players played fantastically. Again, we need to highlight Mia Cavins and Tenila Council, both of which were the top scorers. You said Tenila Council had 18 points?
20 in the end.
20 points in the end. And Mia Cavins with her signature threes. They dominated the Red Raiders game, and they won us tonight. They won for Fitchburg.
51-44 was the final, so the Red Raiders to 1-0, Oakmont to 0-1. These two teams will be playing each other again on Thursday, up or down, or wherever you will, a few miles away on the border of Ashburnham and Westminster. They will meet one more time, as the boys will come here on Thursday to do battle.
We will be announcing that game on Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Let's see. I have to double check what the time is on that exactly, but if you happen to tune in at 5:30, I mean, that's not a bad idea to see if there's anything going on, and then if there's not any video after the first, few minutes after that, or we're still showing other coverage of the Arts channel or whatever we've got in the education feed, then you'll know to come back around 6, and then we'll definitely have the game for you. I won't be on the call for that one, but Frank, you'll be there.
I will be there, and I will be doing the primary. I will be doing the play-by-play.
I believe so. Welcome to Trial by Fire.
Yes, Trial by Fire. That's how you make it in the entertainment industry.
All right, but for now, we're going to sign off for now and get you ready for Thursday,
yes.
Basically, is what we're going to do here. So, again, the final score here from the Grutchfield Fieldhouse, it was Fitchburg 51 and Oakmont 44. So, for Frank Gallo, for Travis Falk doing the camera and graphics and everything else, and for Nate Glennie, who helped set things up as well, and for everyone here at FATV and Fitchburg High School, I'm Daniel Bolak saying thank you for tuning in,